This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
Police department.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
The motor vehicle accident.
Chesterfield Emergency Service. They're in good hands here.
We begin in the small town of Blue Mound, Texas. Dispatcher Kathy Enriquez's whole family works for the local fire department there, so whenever she takes a call like the one she got on the morning of March 14th, 1994, she has reason to be concerned.
Blue Mound 911, what is your emergency? Someone called to say there was a grass fire north of our city. My job is to answer every phone call that comes in. I'm the 911 operator, dispatcher, and court clerk. I dispatched the Blue Mound brush truck to the scene.
Lieutenant Mike Briggles had been a member of the force for 4 years.
The terrain that day was extremely muddy, and my truck was the only truck around that had four-wheel drive capability. Our fire department is strictly volunteer. It's our protocol to wait until another firefighter responds to the station before we can leave. And first person to arrive that day was Matt Enriquez. Matt's a real nice guy, and he's a real good friend of mine.
Look too big, we can tap this one out pretty quick.
Normal precautions on a brush truck consist of a tethering device, also reverse lights coupled with a reverse beeper, which we hadn't installed yet. At the time we got there, the fire wasn't that big. Me and Matt assumed that it would be an easy one to tap out. There was fire on the right and left side, and the flames increased to about 10 feet high. It was soggy, and there was extremely good chance of getting caught in the mud. And it got to the point where I thought it was dangerous to go any further. I did not want to get my truck stuck when I was so close to the head of the fire. The way the truck is situated, I cannot see directly behind the truck. So I did not know where Matt was standing. On my last reverse, I felt the right rear of the truck bounce up. When I exited the truck, I turned around and I did not see Matt on the tailboard, and I instantly knew what had happened.
I need paramedic.
The next thing I heard was Mike screaming, "Medic, medic, I need a medic, and I need a medic now." Copy, care flight.
I knew he was dispatching. It was his mother. I did not tell dispatch that it was Matt. I just told that we had a firefighter down.
I know it's Matt. I just know that's what's going on. I got to call care flight. Matt was supposed to be at work. I had no idea he was on the scene, but I knew it was Matt immediately. I knew it was my son. It was just instinct.
You hear me?
When we continue,
He was unconscious. His helmet was cracked and broken, and the first thing that went through my mind was I'd killed one of my friends, one of my firefighters.
Matt. 'Cause
He was unconscious. He was bleeding from the nose and the mouth. His helmet was cracked and broken, and the first thing that went through my mind was I'd killed Matthew Enriquez, one of my friends, one of my firefighters.
Blue Mountain Fire Department responding. Medical emergency. Pat couldn't relieve me. She's not trained to dispatch. I felt absolutely helpless. I wanted to run and scream. I wanted to get out of there and get to him. It's my child. But I couldn't. I couldn't leave.
You all right? I was amazed that he actually looked at me and said, I need to get out of here. I was very glad that he was at least alive. There was a lot of fire around us, and it's moving a couple miles an hour. I needed to get him some medical attention real quick, but nobody could get to us.
Okay. All right.
He stood up by himself and got in the truck, and that was good enough for me. I was going to get him out of there and get him across to the command center.
All right, you in? Yeah. Okay, we're going to get you out of here. Hurry.
He was in pretty bad shape, and I knew I'd done it.
What happened, Mike? I ran him over in the fire truck. I think he fell out. Matt, you hear me?
It was very evident that I ran over his head. It was very evident that I backed over his midsection with the tire.
I know it's going to hurt.
It's a feeling I'll never forget.
Okay.
He was one of my firefighters that was under my command.
I know it's going to hurt.
And I'd felt that I'd hurt him real bad, if not killed him.
C1, any change in status on the firefighter?
10-9. 10-9, Blue Mountain.
10-9 means I can't understand you. You're going to have to repeat. I ask again. Down to C1, firefighter status.
10-9, Blue Mountain.
They kept saying 10-9 because they knew I was dispatching.
City Secretary Pat Stokes was a friend of Kathy's.
It was horrible to have to watch the pain she was going through, knowing this was her child. I was so impressed at her professionalism. She stayed right on her job. She did right what she was supposed to do. There were tears. There was fear. It was just like you could cut it with a knife, but she was there.
Matt's friend, Regional Ambulance Paramedic Jim Davis, arrived within 10 minutes.
I kneeled down next to him and I asked him who he was because I couldn't recognize him.
He's ran over. What do you got? He's been ran over.
He had blood coming from his ears and from his nose.
I need careful.
He had a large abrasion across the lower part of his rib cage, and he was bleeding internally. And that's not something we can stop in the field. We can only slow it down.
No, we'll take care of it. Not gonna let you die.
I was concerned he might not make it.
While Mike returned to fight the fire, 20-year-old Matt Enriquez was taken by Care Flight helicopter to a nearby hospital. Kathy joined her husband Manuel at the hospital as soon as she was relieved from duty.
When you're told that your son been run over, you feel like you lost your heart.
No, not yet.
Because when you love someone, you don't want to see them hurt.
As soon as I walked to the door, he said, Mama, I'm sorry. And he said, I kept thinking, God, please don't let me die. I want to go home. I kissed him and I cried and I rubbed his head and talked to him. You're going to be all right, man. But I was totally relieved because when he said Mama, I knew he was all right.
Although their son suffered back and neck injuries in the accident, amazingly, Matt's only broken bones were in his jaw and ankle.
Good to fish?
It probably comes from that lake up there. You gotta fish. Watch the back.
In the months that have passed, Matt has been slowly recovering from his injuries.
I still have a lot of neck pain and back pain, and my shoulder still hurts a lot. But other than that, I'm doing a lot better.
No matter what.
My family gave me a lot of support. My fiance helped me recover a lot. I've seen how much she really cared for me, and that if I was hurt or healthy or what, she'd always be by my side.
5 months after the accident, Matt and his girlfriend, Tabitha Jackson, were married.
If you go through traumas like this, it makes your relationship stronger. You're more aware of how special it is and how precious it is and how fragile it is. We have to take each day like it's our last, because I could lose him at any time.
The reason the accident happened is because there was a lack of communication on the fire scene. I should have told Mike that I was getting off and where I was going to be. But when we were wearing the helmet and the truck backed up over my head, it probably crushed my skull because it cracked the helmet.
Just a shield.
The mud helped out a lot also because it was an extra cushion.
That's about all I'm doing.
Safety's first.
Saved my life.
Because if you get hurt, there's no way you can help anyone else out.
Yeah. Better be.
Firefighting is dangerous. Accidents happen.
Oh no.
Some are freak accidents, some are misjudgment, and some are just flat mistakes.
Won't be the first time you got wet washing a truck, right?
I'm still amazed that Matt is alive. Anybody that's run over by a fire truck shouldn't come out like he did.
So you going to fireman school?
So I'm very happy that he made it through that day.
He has a whole lot to live for. He knows that his family will stand beside him. It doesn't matter what he goes through.
Stop it.
There's a lot of good people watching out for Matthew.
Next,
This is a very bizarre call. I wondered how she got the phone when she told me she was calling me from her tree.
You are stuck in a pine tree.
They say that patience is a virtue. It may not sound like much, but when that reward finally arrives, it's often worth the wait. McDonald's California Deluxe. 2 juicy beef patties, a slice of onion, a fresh leaf of lettuce, cheese, tomato, and tangy California sauce. Plus large fries and a medium Coca-Cola Classic for just $2.99. And for breakfast, a delicious sausage McMuffin with egg is just 99 cents.
Wow, this is a great spot.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
I just got this new job. I like it. I'm making more money, so I have to dress nicer. You see, I have 2 goals. One is to not spend all the extra money on clothes for this job, so everything I have on I got at Kmart. I like it small. And my second goal is to not have this job for very long.
Huh?
That's to have his. Is this place great or what?
Rescue 911 will continue.
Next, the dramatic conclusion of one woman's unforgettable story.
I want to go hunting with my dad.
As a mother, she will learn to fight for her family.
I'm just trying to save you, son.
As a wife, she will discover her husband's greatest secret.
What are you buying guns for? I got a right to know.
Don't you question my judgment. As a woman, she will make the most painful decision of her life.
You abandoning your baby? I ain't got you this far to see you do this mess.
The stunning conclusion, oldest living Confederate widow tells all. Next.
This is CBS.
Going, cold.
Presenting Scotty's Family Size.
Let me blot my lips.
This movie is so sad.
With more tissues for about the same price as the other leading brands, Scotty's Family Size
I gotta sneeze.
is the best tissue value.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Going.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
The all-new Mitsubishi Galant, filled with thoughtful details.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Buy a new Galant ES with automatic transmission and air conditioning for $750 down and $199 a month.
These are a few of my favorite things.
The affordable Galant ES offer, perhaps the most favorite thing of all.
A Tijuana standoff between police and police. A live report at 11.
Through children's eyes, the world looks much different than it does to an adult. They may not see the dangers and things we clearly recognize as threatening. And their reckless sense of fun is enough to drive some parents up a tree, as Jack Lenhart and his wife Marie Elena found out on the night of October 16th, 1993, at their home in Millville, Pennsylvania.
Police, fire, and ambulance.
Yes, I have an emergency. I'm stuck in a pine tree with my son, and we can't get down.
You are stuck in a pine tree.
That's right.
Where are you calling me from?
Millville.
Wendy Kelly had been a Columbia County dispatcher for 2 years.
She told me she's stuck in her tree. This is a very bizarre call.
Are you stuck in your car in the tree?
No, my son climbed the tree when my husband turned his back for 1 second. I climbed up to grab him, and we can't get down. I can't safely climb down the tree with a 4-year-old.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand, make sure there wasn't an accident.
No.
Tree.
No.
Okay, are you safe at the moment?
If I don't move, yeah.
Okay.
I wondered how she got the phone when she told me she was calling me from her tree.
My husband threw me the phone. I was able to get that, but there's no way I can safely hand down my son. There's no way I can budge with him, or I'm going to drop him.
To find out that he threw the phone up to her was probably the most humorous part of it all.
Okay. Is either your son or yourself hurt?
No.
All right, I'll send the fire department out to you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
I was embarrassed by the thought of calling 911. I said they plastered that all over the front pages.
I realized that it was bizarre.
What we got? My wife and son are stuck up in the pine tree. Which one?
But I didn't care. I knew we had to get down.
Jerry Wright, Assistant Chief of the Melville Volunteer Fire Department, was the first rescue worker on the scene.
Sure enough, they looked like a couple of little koala bears up in the top of this tree.
Right up here.
You never really think about rescuing someone out of a tree when they had climbed up into it. Columbia County Chief 230B, be advised there are power lines very close to this tree.
Additional volunteer rescue workers continue to arrive, including firefighter Dennis Fisher.
It's unreal that a 4-year-old child would climb to the top of a pine tree that's approximately 25 to 30 feet tall.
The firefighters started climbing the tree. The first one broke branches.
I was very, very nervous that with all these people up there, I thought they were all going to start coming down.
Just hold on. We'll be right there.
Hang on, honey.
Okay. Be there in just a little bit. We just did everything very slow, nice and easy, up to them. Just hold on.
Okay, they're here, Jackie. We got a fireman helping us, honey.
Hi there, bud. How are we doing?
Look who's here.
When the first firefighter climbed up to us, I was really relieved.
Okay, we didn't use a ladder because there were so many branches in the tree. It would have been virtually impossible to get a ladder into them.
You got him?
Yep, we got him. So we decided to form kind of a human chain and pass the little boy down one person to the next until he was down on the ground.
Doing okay?
Ready? Nice and easy. Okay. Okay, you're a little right below you to kind of cut down on this. Okay, there you go. I got him.
After all this was said and done, I was very happy that we did call 911. And even though it might have been a little bit embarrassing, I needed the manpower, and I was happy to see them. And they did an excellent job. Who were those nice guys?
Fireman.
Firemen?
I like the firemen. They rescued me out of a tree.
The firefighters asked me if I wanted help to get down, and I told them no, that I would climb down. But it was a lot harder because my knees were shaking.
Mommy's coming.
Mommy's down.
Mommy's coming. Everything's all right. Here's Mommy. There you go,
okay,
Mom.
sweetie?
It was like a big weight off my shoulders. The whole thing was, it's like I was in a twilight zone.
Finally got you down, huh?
Yeah.
You okay?
I want to climb that tree again.
Over the years, we have received many calls where people have called the fire company when they weren't sure if they should or not. And we never mind being called. We'd rather get there and not be needed than not arrive at all and be needed.
There we go, Jackie.
There they are. Fishies are.
4-year-old Jackie escaped the incident without a scrape.
There we go, Jackie. Look at that.
He's curious about everything, and unless my husband and I tell him specifically that something is very dangerous, he He has very little natural fear. We never warned him about trees.
Oh boy, Jackie, that's a big worm. You can't watch a kid enough. You gotta watch him like a hawk, because they'll always find a way to get in trouble. I think he learned his lesson, but I haven't tested him yet. Of course, I do not want to go through this again.
Jackie's still the same today. He's probably looking for another tree.
Next.
You want to say it's going to be okay. Mom or Dad will take care of it. But Dad couldn't take care of this. There's nothing I could do. It was in the hands of God.
So I'm at the dentist, and he's about to squirt cold water into my mouth. I said, careful. He said, Al, your teeth are sensitive. There's a new toothpaste for that. I said, yeah, but he said, no. I mean, really new.
Introducing Sensitivity Protection Crest. It's clinically proven to help insulate sensitive teeth and also gives you the cavity protection of Crest, the dentist's choice.
So I use Crest all the time. Call me insensitive. I can take it.
A sensitive choice from the dentist's choice for fighting cavities.
There are lots of firsts in life where First Interstate Bank just can't help you. But there are firsts where First Interstate can be a big help, like helping you fulfill a dream. Then we'll do everything possible to make it come true. And because there's so many times when no one can help you, when it comes to banking, come to First Interstate Bank and we'll go out of our way to help you, as long as we can.
Staying ahead of the game. It's what we all strive to do. Whether we're building our lives, building our futures, or building trucks. At Ford, staying ahead means the most powerful diesel pickup engine ever. The new Power Stroke Turbo Diesel. It means giving you the comfort of a new standard airbag. And it means realizing it's the hard work that offers the sweetest rewards. Ford F-Series, the best never rest.
One word for the new Whopper Jr. at Burger King is bigger. 50% bigger. One more thing, it's now just 99 cents every day. The new 99-cent Whopper Jr. at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way.
Isn't it odd how something so wet can make your scalp dry? That's why there's new Finesse for dry scalp. Shampoo and conditioner that replenish your scalp's natural moisture and still give you beautiful hair. Finesse. It's the #1 recommendation of doctors.
Doctors have prescribed Monistat for years.
The #1 choice of women.
It's what I used whenever I had a yeast infection.
Monistat 7 cream starts to soothe on contact and cures yeast infections fast. And now it's available in improved disposable cardboard applicators.
Monistat works. It's the cure I trust.
There are other creams.
My doctor said Monistat is still the right cure for me. That's all I had to hear.
Monistat, the #1 choice of women, the #1 recommendation of doctors.
Saturday.
What we need here is a mayor.
I nominate Dr. Mike. Politics is bad medicine for Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Then,
Oksana Bayo, Elvis Stoico, and Nancy Kerrigan, A Night to Remember, Artistry on Ice.
Following Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman Saturday.
Relive his greatest illusions. Discover why he dared the impossible. With special guest Claudia Schiffer. The David Copperfield 15th Anniversary Special, Thursday, May 12th.
On March 14, 1992, two of the top college hockey teams faced off in Plattsburgh, New York, for a chance to advance to the NCAA finals and compete for the national championship. But for one player's family, the game took on a much greater meaning when they found themselves with a lot more than a championship at stake. Some of the footage in this story was taped as the events unfolded.
Ice hockey has the potential to be very, very dangerous. There's a lot of collisions, hitting ice, hitting the boards, hitting each other, and sometimes at a very high rate of speed.
Need everyone helping each other out tonight, work hard.
One of the up-and-coming players on the Elmira College team was 21-year-old center Michael McNamara, number 18.
Michael is their only son, and he's just been such a big part of me. Because he's a son that will come up and put his arm around you and say, I love you, Mom.
Dolores and Mike McNamara had driven 100 miles to see their son Michael play that night.
There was nowhere to sit. It was packed. So we were way up high.
It was so crowded, I couldn't sit with the rest of my family. The air was just full of great anticipation of what a great contest it was going to be.
The coach of the Elmira team was Glenn Tamaris.
We got out early, put a lot of pressure on Plattsburgh. Scored a goal to go up 1-0.
John Oliphant was the Elmira athletic trainer.
And then gradually Plattsburgh had picked up a couple goals on us. And the score was 3-1.
Michael was coming out of the defensive zone. His teammate passed the puck to him.
It was a clean check, but it was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen.
He didn't even make any attempt to try to get up. And then all of a sudden it gets real quiet in the arena, like that people sense that something isn't right.
His eyes were open, but he was completely unconscious. There was a very blank stare. He started to go into seizures and his whole body was convulsing.
The Plattsburgh medical team came onto the ice, including Director of Sports Medicine, Dr. Merritt Spear.
Within a very few moments, he was not breathing. I attempted a couple of breaths into his mouth. But within a very few seconds, we couldn't feel a pulse. That's when CPR was started in full.
I realized they were giving him CPR, and then I was just in a state of complete panic. I started thinking, I've lost one of my children.
Peter Fiola had been friends with Michael since their freshman year.
Most of the guys stayed on the bench. Everybody became very, very scared. More than one person was crying, and I don't think anybody knew if we would ever see Michael again.
It seemed like an eternity when we were out there, but suddenly Mike's pulse came back.
I stopped doing the rescue breathing, put my head down, and could see that Michael was breathing again on his own. But because he didn't regain consciousness, I wasn't sure whether this was a real temporary thing.
Neurosurgeon Soham Patel happened to be at the game that night.
The way he fell and bounced his head on the ice like a soccer ball. As a physician, I thought that we were really facing a life-threatening situation. And as a hockey parent, I could see that it could have been my boy, my son.
Just as I got there, he was coming through the gates of the ice rink. You want to hold them, and you want to say, it's going to be okay. Mom or Dad will take care of it.
Hang in there, Michael.
But Dad couldn't take care of this. There's nothing I could do. It was in the hands of God.
21-year-old Michael McNamara was taken to Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital, where Dr. Patel was on call.
In the emergency room, I did the full detailed neurological examination. He seems to be very restless and agitated. He's posturing. I told Michael's parents that I was going to treat him as if he was my own son and make sure that he has all the chances in the world to make full and total recovery.
His dad and I were standing there and we kept saying, Michael, you're going to be okay. I love you, Michael. But there was no response at all. I'll never forget it.
The CAT scan showed that Michael had sustained a fracture of the skull on the left side. The concern was, is he going to develop swelling of the brain? Is he going to develop recurrent seizures?
The days that followed Michael's accident were long and trying. His sisters were all there.
You would talk to him and touch his hand, and he wouldn't respond. I thought about the fact of him dying. It was very scary. I care for my brother very much, and I look up to him and respect him.
After a couple days, I started facing the reality that he may never wake up. And I just said, if Michael just turns out of this so that I can set him in a rowboat and sit him up and take him fishing, I'd be very happy. One thing that did encourage me was when I would go in there, Michael's heart rate would start to race. So I sort of said, well, jeepers, Michael knows I'm in here.
Very early on the morning of Michael's 5th day in a coma, his father went in to see him.
The minute I walked into the room and I said, good morning, his eyes just opened right up. Think you could open your eyes up for him?
We really all got excited, and it was like a celebration. It was so exciting.
Within 6 months, Michael had made a complete recovery.
I don't remember the hit at all, but hockey's a rough sport, so I have no blame. I think you just have to take it in stride, and you never can realize when things are going to happen like this, so you can't really blame anyone. I realized that I was fortunate that I didn't die right there on the ice, that I had no permanent brain damage. I thank everyone that made it possible today that I'm still here.
Michael worked very hard to get himself back in condition, and the first game of the next season, he was ready.
I feel very fortunate. The doctors gave me permission to go back and play. And since I didn't remember any of the accident, I kind of went on playing the same way that I played before.
The first time I saw him, it was scary, but then again, it was that little bit of excitement that good for you.
The following year, the Irish hockey team went to the Final Four. I'm proud of Michael and the way he's recovered, but it's the kind of young man that he is that makes me the proudest.
Knowing that Michael is well today, there's nothing that I want now. All my 5 kids are healthy, happy, have done well. I think anything from here on out that I get is extra.
Fat. For years, people have tried to hide it, stuff it, even burn it. Well, Skippy came up with a whole new idea. We cut it. Introducing new Skippy Reduced Fat Peanut Butter with 30% less fat, plus the delicious Skippy taste you crave. So now you can spread it, devour it, and just plain love it. New Skippy Reduced Fat Peanut Butter. Cut the fat, don't cut out the Skippy. Wow.
The hits just keep on happening during the JCPenney Mother's Day sale. Starting with these classic numbers, now 25% off. Or these soft, relaxing favorites, 25 to 33% off. If Mom loves rock, save 30% on our gemstones. Or save 30 to 50% on these golden hits. The JCPenney Mother's Day sale.
He's leading a fight to return something to schools. What is it? Here's a clue. This man wants the same thing.
Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
Next week, Dave's in L.A. with Billy Crystal, Bette Midler, Michael Keaton, Candice Bergen, and Magic Johnson. The Late Show heads to L.A. next week.
The wildest parts of nature fill us with wonder, but sometimes their majestic beauty can be deceptively deadly. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of swift actions and kind hearts on Rescue 911. We begin on May 1st, 1986, as a group of travelers were enjoying a 5-day canoe safari through the remote jungle of Zimbabwe, Africa. The plan was to paddle an 80-mile stretch of the Zambezi River. Their guide, Simon Silcock, had led more than 50 expeditions in the area.
The Zambezi runs through 2 fantastic game parks, and they are both totally virginal bush. It is not unusual to camp and actually to have an elephant come and put his trunk inside your tent.
Okay, guys, let's get the boats in the water.
19-year-old Rupert Novus was on a year-long trip through Africa after finishing college back home in England.
There was nothing difficult about the actual canoeing itself. It required a quick 1-minute lesson from Simon when we got in for those particular canoes, and then after that away we went.
Oh, this looks lovely.
We were going through the middle of nowhere. It was gorgeous.
Kenyan-born Alexander Shaw was sharing a canoe with Rupert, his good friend from school.
The hippos were basically the main danger, so it was very much a question of trying to steer clear of them.
In front.
We did see some crocs, but they weren't any danger to us because they'd run a mile as soon as we canoed anywhere near them.
You always camp at the same spot.
During dusk, and as the sun's going down, you get all the river noises. It was great. It was sort of an orchestra in itself.
On their 5th and final day on the water, they still had 4 hours of paddling ahead of them.
The heat is unbearable.
South African Hugh Lloyd and his 13-year-old son Jeremy were 2 of the other travelers on the safari.
Let's have a swim now, what do you say? Yeah. That'll be...
We did swim to cool off 1 or 2 times a day, but the places were carefully chosen.
We all need a swim, but we can't take a chance here.
The water would have to be very, very clear and shallow enough to see your toenails. Swimming in deep water in the Zambezi is absolutely crazy. It's the same as swimming in shark-infested water. It had rained a lot and turned the water very brown.
Hey Simon, can we please go for a swim? The water's shallow.
It was only at 3 o'clock that I found a place that I considered to be safe enough.
Okay guys, we're okay, yeah, we can swim.
Yeah.
It is me. This way.
Alice. Simon.
Right, Simon. Yeah, Jeremy.
It was very, very relaxing. And we slowly drifted down the river with the canoes.
Simon.
As we floated, it started to get a little bit deeper. The guide suggested that we should get back into the canoes.
All right. I'll go with you, ladies. All right. Yes. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. He's on this, back in the boat.
Jeremy suddenly just disappeared, like a fishing float going down. The water was calm on top. We didn't know what had happened to him at all.
Get him!
Before we could get there, he was pulled back underneath. We then realised that there was something very, very badly wrong.
when we continue.
We couldn't see what was going on underneath. We were just feeling around with our arms. Alex then got pulled underneath.
Rescue 911. Sponsored by Kmart. Brand names, low prices, the latest fashions. Kmart. Is this place great or what?
There's a new collection at Kmart. It happens to be all mine.
But it's really all mine.
I love the belt loop. It's what you want to wear. I know that because women talk to me all the time.
I tell her, she listens.
I love the detail.
I love the embroidery.
I'm proud of my whole collection because of how great my clothes look on.
On me.
Kmart gives me the freedom to design what I want, what I feel is right for women today.
Where can I find clearer, radiant, younger-looking skin? Right beneath the skin I have.
Introducing a new dual-action hydroxy complex. Hydroxy Renewal Cream from Oil of Olay. Action 1 exfoliates dull, dry, older surface skin. Action 2 nourishes with Olay moisture, improving clarity, reducing the look of fine wrinkle lines.
Younger-looking skin isn't hard to find. You just have to know where to look.
Oil of Olay Hydroxy Renewal Cream.
This Goodyear Aqua Tread pumps away over a gallon of water every second with its Deep Groove Aqua Channel. That's 396 gallons per mile. Think about it. The all-season Aqua Tread, only from Goodyear.
Dad, Mom and I left you this sandwich.
Best Food's real mayonnaise makes an ordinary sandwich so delicious. Nobody can resist it.
We left you this banana.
Bring out the best foods and bring out the best.
There was only one road in, and one word of advice. Make it before the snow comes, or you might not make it at all. But at the end of that road was California, where grapes grew as big as your fist, and trees touched the clouds. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, and every day with every car nationwide, only Alamo gives you all those miles for free, including one California road you should still get down before the snow comes.
On a canoe safari in the African jungle, 13-year-old Jeremy Lloyd was attacked by a 12-foot crocodile while swimming in the Zambezi River. Another member of his group, Rupert Novus, had been close by when he saw the boy disappear from view.
He didn't scream. He didn't have time to.
I was a bit confused as to what was happening. Was it a game? Was someone having a water fight?
We couldn't see what was going on underneath. We were just feeling around with our arms. Alex then got pulled underneath. I located Jeremy and I just pulled up as hard as I could. Fortunately, he was released.
I could feel the crocodile between our legs.
We were all just frantic to get out of the water.
Help me! Help me get him up!
This was the first time I got a proper sight of Hugh's arm. It had been bitten off from the elbow downwards. We started to sink back into the water. I knew that I had to do something about it. It was probably the fastest I've ever swum in my life. Alex had had his arm very badly broken.
I had teeth marks all around my wrist. But the whole incident had focused around Jeremy, and the very fact that he was alive was the saving grace of it. Anything after that was small fry.
Our major concern was the likelihood of them dying from loss of blood.
It's an awful feeling knowing that you are 150 miles with no road from any hospital.
Hugh's arm was obviously the most serious. but he acted with incredible calmness.
I think we need a tourniquet here. Okay.
He was totally handling the situation.
Get some pressure pads on him.
He was quite extraordinary. His mental condition was fantastic, but it wasn't going to keep his physical situation going.
Hey, Jeremy.
Jeremy had been bitten on his arm, which was looking quite mangled.
He said, "Just somebody tell me this is a nightmare."
The nearest help was at the Monopools Game Preserve Station, 5 miles away through the bush.
We knew that we had to somehow get the injured down to there, but we didn't know how we were going to do that.
I saw a white thing on the shore directly opposite us.
Look across there on the other bank.
I was thinking, white is man-made. There's nothing white in the bush.
Is that a car? That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's beat them up.
It was indeed a Land Rover. It was a very fortunate set of circumstances because it was the first day that people had been allowed into the parks for 6 months.
You come down and help us.
We were very concerned because we were a long way away from being able to get proper help. We didn't necessarily have that sort of time to play with.
Because there was no medical facility anywhere near, Jeremy and his father were taken to Monopools, where they could radio for help. Rupert stayed behind with his injured friend Alex to wait for the next trip.
That sort of stuff, because... Simon!
Gordon, we need help here. We've got 2 people taken by a crook.
Okay, I'll try and get a plane.
Simon, is it? I'm a doctor.
There happened to be a doctor who was signing in to come on a camping trip. I've been happy to see people in my life before, but that guy I was delighted to see. Hugh Lloyd was weakening. He was going white. I think shock was probably setting in. And Jeremy had gone very, very quiet, which is always a bad sign.
A bush pilot who'd heard about their situation volunteered to pick up the wounded at a nearby clearing for transport to the hospital.
Hugh and I actually ended up crying most of the way, quite honestly. I remember him just saying, I'm sorry this has happened, I'm sorry this has happened. But of course I've had to live with a certain amount of guilt because it should never have happened.
Hugh Lloyd and his 13-year-old son Jeremy were flown 300 miles to the capital city of Harare, where they underwent surgery at Parapenitwa Hospital. Gillian Lloyd could not get a visa to come and see her husband and son until 2 days later.
By the time I saw him, Hugh was a lot stronger. But Jeremy was running a dangerously high temperature, and he was in a great deal of pain. The orthopedic specialist had said that I had to try and picture a bag of confetti, and that's what the bones in Jeremy's arm looked like, because the crocodile had chewed it to tiny little fragments.
After 10 days, Jeremy and his father were transferred to Morningside Hospital in their hometown of Johannesburg, South Africa, where they underwent further surgery.
What sort of use will he have? Dr. Diamond said that I was to be prepared for the fact that Jeremy would never move his arm more than 2 degrees either way. It was completely and utterly fixed in a right angle. I was just very grateful that they were still alive.
He's definitely not going to use his arm.
7 years have passed since the incident. Jeremy and Hugh have long since learned to cope with their physical limitations.
Did you make on the last hole? You've sunk it in for 5. It's not so good.
Remember, the first most difficult thing to do was learning how to pull your trousers up without them falling down. And then how do you wrap a bath towel around you after you've been in a shower? When I kind of finally accepted that I was a one-armed person, not a two-armed person with one arm missing, I quickly learned that I could do everything I'd ever done.
For quite a while. My whole life became centered around my arm, which is very annoying. And I was getting frustrated because I was thinking this damn arm it just won't move.
No.
He used to spend hours at the physiotherapist despite tremendous pain. And he now can extend the arm more than 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, you can't complain.
It's on. When I was taken, I didn't even know it was a crocodile. The water was just rushing past me. There's no way I could breathe. But by that time, my father was next to it, and he punched it to make it let me go. If it hadn't been for him, then I would have died.
I have no regrets. Absolutely none whatsoever. It's the only thing I could have done. It wasn't a matter of choice.
Yeah, amazing. Hey, look at them over there.
Alex and Rupert could easily have made sure of their own safety, and they didn't. They stayed, and they helped, which demanded enormous bravery and enormous courage. I lived in that country for most of my life, and most people who are taken by a crocodile are never seen again.
Look at zebra and goodies over there.
It certainly does teach a lesson that has been learnt before, which is that you have to treat nature with extreme caution and utmost respect. I'm grateful for the fact that at the end of the day we're all here and we're all alive to be able to talk about it.
It's quite amazing.
It's important to learn basic life-saving techniques. Contact the American Red Cross or the American Heart Association for first aid and CPR courses available in your area. This series is dedicated to all the people who have the skill, courage, and compassion to get involved when a life is at stake. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
In support of National Safe Kids Week, May 8th to 14th, CBS and Johnson & Johnson invite you and your family to watch a special episode of Rescue 911 focusing on childhood safety. Next week, find out what to do if your child is the victim of accidental injury.
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.